Man, oh man, I do feel like I really miss the outside. I'm just gonna pop out for a minute. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, so right now we've got a completely clear sky.
Oh god, there's people out there. I completely forgot. Back inside before they do anything horrible like ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing terribly, obviously, and it's all because of you. But I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to say, I'm fine, because that's polite. Because I'm British and my upper lip is so stiff, I keep knickknacks and candles on it like a shelf.
Of the moon. Up there, do you see that?
No, that's not the moon. That's a hat. Look, it's rather dapper if I do say so myself. No, you can't have one. There's only one and it's mine. Get your own moon hat.
We have got a completely clear sky of the moon.
I'm sorry, what now? A completely clear sky of the moon. What's that supposed to mean? Because, well, I'm certain you just misspoke, because no one could say anything that interesting on purpose. Let's just try to figure out what you could possibly be talking about. So, a completely clear sky of the moon. That could mean that the sky is clear of moons. But it's right there. Nope, I'm stumped.
So it really has me wondering, and it's half of a moon.
No, it's the whole moon. You just can't see half of it. In fact, you can actually only see 1/4 of it, give or take how far apart your eyes are. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Except for God and my heart. Both are fictional concepts, thank you very much.
And sometimes it actually looks flat.
No, don't you dare. We didn't come here today for that. We came here today for Moon Stupid, since we haven't done it in a while and I wanted to check if people still had very silly ideas about it. Turns out they do. I am the surprising. It looks flat because you can't see literally half of it. A circle cut in half has a flat edge. This is not complicated. Please do not make more out of it than needs be. That's my job.
Which is kind of strange. That is really weird.
No, you.
So let me zoom out. So sometimes, you know, it goes up and down and it's crescent, but this one's flat.
Right, yeah. That's because the sun is shining on it from different angles. Also, this one is flat. This one. Is there more than one now? You know, there's only so much I can try and justify as you merely misspeaking before I gotta tell you to learn to do a speaking. Seriously.
Does this play into the flat earth theory? Oh my gosh.
See, now I cannot tell if you're into it or you think that it's silly. Thankfully, we have the Sillytron 5000 to help us finally figure out if the flat earth is or is not a silly idea. Turns out that the flat earth is in fact banana. What a shocking turn of events.
Maybe it does. Or is it another planet? Because...
No, it's a moon. It's a moon because a moon is defined as a celestial body that makes an orbit around a planet. That's what that thing is. And that's what that thing does. And that's what we called it. Because it's the biggest one swinging around this planet of ours. And if it's not that, then why on earth would we call it that, unless it's some big conspiracy to hide this planet that just so happens to act exactly like a moon orbiting around us.
Okay, sometimes we see a crescent. This one is strange.
Okay, so we're back to that this one thing again, are we? It's not a this one. It's this time, or right now, it's not this particular version of our apparently many the moons. There are no other versions. It's the moon. We only have one. Well, only one. The moon. So stop.
Okay, so when the sun is up and is bright, like right now...
Ugh, it's horrible, I know. You get that sizzling from your pasty skin, it burns your eyes, and worst of all, your helmet gets really hot. Although that does mean that I can cook eggs and bacon on my head. That's a sizzle I can get behind. So, swings and roundabouts, I guess.
And the sun is above the earth.
No, the sun could arguably be said to be above you, but the sun is to one particular side of the Earth at any given time. Although do spheres even have sides? I don't know, but I can see why you might be confused by the moon if you don't understand that elementary fact.
And it's bright.
Well, something in this video had to be bright, and it was never going to be thee or me, matey. So thanks, sun, for keeping the side up.
And then this is up here. Then why is it only half?
Right, so I've got to assume that you think the sun is a similar distance away from the Earth than the moon is. I mean, they look a similar size, so why wouldn't they be, right? Well, that's not how it works. Here's a mock-up of what a close sun system might be. And if the sun is shining on the moon, well then surely you should be able to see a good 75% of the surface that it has facing towards you. But that's not where the sun is, or how big it is to boot. Although its size is less relevant than its light output. This is closer to what's actually going on, but not actually even that close. The sun is above both you and the moon, not to the side as it might appear. And if we take a closer look, you'll see that what you in fact see is exactly what we expect you to see, and what you do see. So there you go. That's enough actual poorly done science. Let's get back to the bad jokes.
What is in the way? What is in the way of...
The moon? The moon. The moon is blocking the moon from getting the moon's light onto the moon. Well, the other side of the moon. But I just wanted to see how many times I could say moon in one sentence. Turns out it's moony times. Moon.
What is blocking the rest of whatever this is?
It is the moon, for God's sake. Even if it's not what we think it is, that doesn't change the fact that it's the goddamn monkey funky moon. What's that up there? It's called the moon. What is it? Who knows, apparently, but we will have called it whatever we called it long before we had any understanding of what it is. So it almost doesn't even matter. Why don't we just call it Baldregard? Then it can be whatever you want it to be.
Or is it another planet? And that there's something else, or some dust, or something else in the way?
Is it another planet? No. Is there some dust in the way? Well, now that's the question. That's the question that makes me say all the woos and the lads and just wows. You really have no idea what Baldregard is, and even what the makeup of our universe is. I don't even know where, what, when, or why you think a bit of dust has anything to do with Baldregard, or the fact that he's currently in either first or last quarter. And it's hard to tell which specifically, because of the crap cam TM.
Or, my third thinking is that...
Don't pretend you did any thinking. After me being pretty nice early on, I'm not sure you should even get to use that word. Also, you don't need to think what it is anyway. Look it up, for crying out loud. And I know that's not generally a good response, but I seriously doubt this individual has ever seen any information about Baldregard from any source whatsoever. Like, not even the stupid ones. It's kind of baffling.
The sun has already set... Or, oh, there's an airplane up there too. I see an airplane. I'm really surprised I see it because...
Come on, darling. Don't get distracted by the magic flying bus. Keep on topic. We haven't got all day. You think that the sun has already set, apparently, even though it's quite clearly the middle of the day. And I imagine that you can actually see the sun. But you know, carry on. Anyway. After a whole paragraph of not saying Baldregard, I'm just going to quietly drop that stupid gag and hope that no one notices. I'm sick of saying it already, and probably won't say it as many times again for the rest of my goddamn life.
My eyes are... I've been looking at the computer screen and my eyes are kind of messed up, but I do see the little airplane up there.
Well, I do kind of wish you had typed in, "What am the moon?" before making this video. Probably would have saved everyone a whole heap of hassle. I mean, I'm already 2 bottles in from the sheer stress of it all. Thankfully, I have been developing a new power I call whiskey kinesis, where I can bring bottles of whiskey to myself from anywhere. Watch. Okay, so it needs some work, but I've got whisks for days now.
So the other thing is the light bending. and casting a shadow up there.
The light is bending. I mean, light can and does bend, but do you mean the sunlight? Bending from where and how / why? What evidence do you have that supports this idea other than you thought it sounded neat? I'm afraid that's just not how it works. I had a neat idea as well, but look, I'm getting close. It's a whisk shaped like an E. It doesn't make any sense, but it's mighty impressive, I think you'll agree. I'm just going to have to do more magic science till I get it right.
But, or are we just, and the fourth one is, are we just told that that's the moon and it's not the moon, it's a planet?
By whomst exactly? Educators? Oh no, the bastards. How could they teach us that the moon is what it is instead of indulging in nonsensical flights of fancy? Maybe it's number 5. It's the goddamn moon, you loo. Had to stop myself there. Nearly started rhyming. Wouldn't want that.
In our solar system. that seems to be more logical to me, because sometimes it's like...
It seems more logical to you that everyone of any import ever, in every single government or education system or what have you, millions, if not billions of people are lying about what the moon is. That seems more logical to you than you haven't bothered to look up or understand what the moon is. Yeah, you're right. When in doubt, literally everyone on the planet is wrong but me. I mean, that is true, but only for me, not you, me.
We see the moon during the day. So what's causing the moon?
I don't know, probably aliens, right? Makes about as much sense as anything else in this video.
What's causing the moon to look like that?
I've already said it. The moon causes the moon to look like that. It's a ball with the light shining on one side. You can test this for yourself. Prop a torch on a table in a dark room and put a ball in its light stream. You'll see one side lit up, one side not. But I guess that's more work than pointing your camera at the sky and making stuff up. So c'est la vie.
When sometimes it's up and down. Let me zoom this out. Sometimes it's up and down, or it's got a crescent to it. But today the moon is horizontal.
You know that stuff I said earlier about first or last quarter? You might find this hard to believe, but I'm not actually making that up. It's actually a thing that people have studied and understand. They are called the phases of the moon, and what you'll discover is that it's a regular pattern and doesn't just happen at random, and is, in fact, exactly what we would expect it to do based on whatever it is that they tell us, almost like it's an accurate description of reality.
So would this play into the flat earth theory of some folks?
While I'm glad that you're apparently not actually a flirf, you are clearly dangerously close to becoming one. So I can only give you the most sound piece of medical advice that I can give. 3 whiskies a day kill stupid dead. That's bottles, by the way. And if you find that amount kills you, well, you must be pretty dumb.
And so why is it sometimes the moon... Well, actually... Oh, I know what I was going to say. The other day, I was looking up at the sky, and there was one that was crescent, and it was shaped this direction.
Goodness, you are very easily distracted, aren't you? And again, with this thing and the length of the lunar cycle, you can literally use it to predict what you'll see next and when. We know how this works, damn it!
And so it's like, well, does the moon change that drastically? From horizontal to vertical?
The moon didn't change shape. The sun would obviously have been hitting it from a different angle. What time was it? Where was the moon in the sky? These factor into what angle the light would have been hitting it, and thus how much of it you can see, not its shape.
When typically it's presented to us in education.
Really? Education? After today, I'm not convinced you even had one of those. Just saying.
As always being the crescent shape, like in this direction, like it's always the same.
No, it isn't. Unless you mean baby books for ickle wickle baby wabies, showing it as the crescent, but they aren't doing that to try and teach about the science of what the moon is, only that it's a thing that exists and children will recognise it as the moon and not say, another circle like the sun by showing its occasional unique shape. But hey, at least we have discovered that you did actually have an education. Apparently it stopped at kindergarten.
So now I'm curious. I mean, I can kind of...
Wait, what? What's going on? That's it? That's the end of the video? Really? That's a more abrupt ending than my... Guys, don't forget to panic buy sick brand merch. What if you need to let people know that you were handsome, famous and good at the sex in a variety of tasteful colours? Buy as many as you can afford now before this thing that's printed to order runs out. Also, you can use it as toilet paper if needs be. You never know when you're going to need to wipe your arse.